thanks for stopping by. I like to preface this video by saying it is not a knitting tutorial, but it means to have something playing in the background while you work on your own knitting project. If you're like me and really enjoy watching videos, you find that sometimes the content you watch is very visually engaging and you're several hours in and haven't gotten nearly as far along in your project as you would have liked to. So that's where I come in. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. It is another day, well, I lie, it's not another day, but it is another day in the sense that we are continuing to work on the Jolie Mimi Cardigan by Wool and the Gang. And as I mentioned in the last video, I need to have 28 inches of this bad boy. This is just the first of 2 panels on the front side that I need to knit before I can work on, I think I work on the back next and then the sleeves. So we are just gonna keep going with this one. And let me check to see how late, oh, it's 15 after midnight here. So we are in a Sunday. So I have a lot of videos now on my memory card, I think 4 in total. I filmed 2 on Friday, and I filmed 2 here on Saturday/Sunday, and I think that'll be all I need to do for a little bit, and then we'll get back into some other stuff later in the week. I mentioned before I had some plans on some other content that I'd like to give to you guys, but I do have to work from home in the next 2 weeks and want to see what that looks like. I heard that my boss's boss wants us all to have twice weekly meetings, and I told someone I supervise that and they kind of just scoffed like, oh man, and I agreed a little bit. Like, we don't check in that much when we work regularly, so I don't know why we would need to amp it up, unless of course there was something that came up that really needed us to address it. But if there isn't anything happening, I don't see why we would need to meet twice. So that's 4 meetings in 2 weeks. Seems like a lot to me. I'm not generally a meeting person unless I have to. And if I'm in the zone, I have a list of everything I need to do. I don't really need a meeting. But that's just me. Let me know if you're a meeting person. If you currently work, do you love meetings? Are they mandatory? Do you feel like you need more meetings and you don't have any at all? I like a good balance. I think if there's something coming up that needs to be addressed, it's good to have a group conversation, but if it's just, a few little announcements, not quite, but if it is something worth discussing, then I think you could always take it to the meeting level if you find that a lot of people are raising concerns or have questions and you think the group would benefit from some discussion around the topic. But just daily life, no, not really. But now that there's a lot of stuff up in the air, I can see maybe once a week, but unless anything has come through our way as far as how to address our current work from home situation, I don't think we would need one. So I would think probably start out with one maybe Monday or Tuesday, and then see how things are going, and then maybe if we find that a lot of stuff is happening, try to do another Friday. But if everyone seems pretty squared away, don't want to interrupt the flow, because I have a lot of stuff, and where this is the best time to get it done, because ideally I will not have any interruptions, because I'm just churning out my projects that I've had on my back burner for pretty much since I started working there, because I keep getting interrupted by other things. Other things need more of my direct attention, there's a lot of stuff I'd like to do that I just haven't had the time. But now that I'm not serving my customers in a direct manner where everyone's there live needing results at that moment, I have a lot more time where I can get some stuff done that I really wanted to do. So I'm excited about that. Not so much the meetings, but just knowing that I have that freedom now. And maybe, just maybe, if things go well, they'll let us do this more often. And not so much like us, everybody, but people who can. Maybe I can telecommute once or twice a month or something. Now that I could get everything set up from home, and see how it goes. I think especially during like the slower seasons when we don't have as many customers where it would require me to be there 24/7, that would be nice. And I really had wanted to use it as an opportunity to foster again, but because I still live very far away from the shelter that I was fostering from, and the fact that my partner was my mode of transportation, and they're not quite sure what their work from home situation is going to be like. It would be a poor decision of mine to take it on again without having a lot of those resources secured as far as how to care for the animals, and get to the shelter quickly if I needed to take them to the clinic for any reason, other than when they were scheduled to be returned to be put on the adoption floor. So that part is not going to be happening anytime soon. Let's see. I also, not really, very much not on topic, but got some groceries today, and I had this taste. Besides making the gnocchi later this week, I thought it would be fun just to bake apples because I love baked apples, and I didn't have any instant rolled oats, but I bought a tin of butter cookies, Danish butter cookies or Dutch butter cookies. I don't know, the ones that come in that blue tin that are like so addictive, and then you always end up finding that tin full of like bobbins and needles and thread and stuff like that later on when it's emptied out. So I'm like, ooh, what am I going to use this tin for when I eat all the cookies inside? Obviously something yarn related. But anyway, so I bought those and the apples, and I looked up this, I think it's Skinny Taste is the website. I've seen some recipes from them before, but they just had a quick baked apple recipe with, of course, like the streusel top with like the crumbly bits, and since I didn't have the rolled oats, I heated up about 2 tablespoons of butter and 3 of the butter cookies and a little bit of brown sugar and a couple dashes of cinnamon, and like squish that all together. And then I cut the apples. I bought 2 big Honeycrisp apples, and I cut them in half, cored them, and put the little mixture on top, and you're supposed to bake that for 30 minutes on 350 degrees. And I actually did mine for about 35 because I just wanted to make sure it was all the way cooked through and nice and squishy. And when they came out, they were absolutely awesome. And I put whipped cream on top, and I had 1 apple, so 2 halves, and my partner had 1 half, and I put the other half in the fridge for them, so hopefully they eat it tomorrow for like breakfast or something. And you're like, oh, this is good. And I was like, I know, it's simple, as long as you have the ingredients, which I barely had. Because I could have just had the apple baked without adding like any crumbly bits on top, but I really liked that crunch because then it kind of reminded me of apple pie, without like the jelly part and the crust, but the crumble on top was just all I needed to have like that bread bit of it. So that was good. And somebody rang my doorbell late. It was like 9:30, and somebody in the neighborhood got delivery and they got the wrong house. So I was like, who is getting food so late? But it happened earlier too this week, so that was annoying. So I told myself I wasn't going to answer the door anymore after that last one because, one, I was trying to get ready to come up here, and then I got interrupted a couple more times for some other things, and now it's past midnight. But that's sometimes how it goes. I also today made my winter shoes find their way upstairs. So they're currently in the upstairs hall, and now I just need to get them into their shoe boxes in my closet. And I kind of am stuck because I want to go through my closet and clean everything out, but at the same time I want to like put stuff away, like the shoes that I've had out, but I just want to like, I'm not sure, do I want to clean the closet first and then put the shoes away and then clean the closet out? And I don't know which one is going to take longer because I still need to go through my shoes too, because I'm sure one of my plastic bins, I don't think I have any more empty plastic bins, and I buy a little like 6-quart shoe boxes at Target where you get like a pack of 5 or something like that for a few dollars, and I use those instead of like the cardboard boxes because I could use them all the time. They're super easy to move with and they're clear, so I can see what I have inside, so they're the best. But I double up like my sandals and things because they're flat, and I don't wear them as often because it's never ever warm long enough to wear all my sandals, and half the time in the summertime it's like raining or something, so I can only wear sandals over for a little while, which is why I love it when I can, because then I can paint my toes and all that stuff. But I just have to go through my closet really, and I'm kind of like, how do I start? That's always the trickiest part, is just starting, figuring out where to begin. And I bought like this hanger that I have 2 of them already, and I bought a 3rd one, and they just hold all my work pants, like my dressier pants, so that they're not as likely to get cat fur on them, because Kabu for some reason just loves to sleep in the closet, and anytime she finds something to rub on, it always ends up with cat hair on it. So I keep my pants on like this tiered hanger, and it's on like the top rung of my closet so that it's out of her way. But at the same time, it's kind of hard to tell where they are because they're just stacked on top of each other. So I kind of have to commit to memory what pants I put on what tier of the hanger so that I always know what to look for instead of like rifling through everything in the closet. So I'm hoping to pare down my closet in general and move some things around, because in this room, this closet has most of like our special occasion clothes. So my partner's one suit that they wear for weddings and funerals, and my fancy clothes for special occasions, some of my heavier coats, some of my warmer weather clothes like long skirts, and my bulky sweaters are on the top shelf. So I have to go through all of that and pare some of that down because there are some things I just haven't worn in years, and I don't think I'm going to anymore. Just not my style anymore. So I have to go donate those. But I want to wash everything first, so I'll probably do that tomorrow too. Just throw it all in the wash. And then see where I am after I've cleared out some of those hangers. And then I can probably shift some things out of my main closet, like my everyday stuff, and put some of that in here because I just don't wear it as often. But I still do, like cardigans. I have a lot of cardigans, but I don't wear all of them every day, especially depending on the weather and what color scheme I'm wearing that day. So that kind of, it's like some stuff I'm thinking about, like how to better organize what I use the most. And my shoes, because I think I'm going to just leave them all out. I have a wall where I have some stacked up, but I think if they're all out in the open, then I'll gravitate to the ones that I see more anyway. But if they're all on display, then I won't forget that I have any and then end up buying something similar to it, which has happened before. So I don't want to do that anymore. Cool. Really, it doesn't, it's like something about this one where it doesn't look like I'm getting that much further in this project, but then, you know, a few days go by and I'm like, no, it's getting there. It's still not as long as it should be, but if you think, I have it almost where, well, it is kind of heavy too, but almost have it where it should be hitting me on my body, and I probably have another 7 or 8 inches left before it's the length it should be. But I think I said that last time, and when I laid it out naturally without any tension, it was shorter than that. So I don't know. It's hard to tell because it's heavy. It's not like super heavy, but the weight of the fabric, the weight of this stitch is pulling it longer than it really looks. So we'll finish this last row. So if you're home at the moment, doing your thing, tell me what kind of projects you've been up to since you haven't been able to leave your house. Have you been reading anything? Have you finished some awesome projects? I know some of you are working on some fun knitting projects. Are you done with them, or have you started new ones yet? Are you adding more to your arsenal of ongoing works in progress? Let me know in the comments. How are you keeping sane and busy? Some people are like, why should I be so productive? Why should I think of it as like I need to be doing something when that's all we do is work, work, work? I kind of agree with that. I think for me it's a chance to pick up and work on these hobbies like knitting that I really enjoy, and, you know, take care of things like my health and my house, because I'm usually so busy working I don't get a chance to really, you know, take pride in my home and keep it up with all of the cleaning and things like that. So I think of it as like an opportunity to, I mean, it is being productive, but it's being productive in a way that I think is more rewarding to me than maybe some other tasks that I could be doing. So I like it. It's not the best situation, but I like that I have this chance, and it's not like I'm taking my own vacation. It's like I'm being forced to do it. But at the same time, there are lots of communities I've seen pop up right now that are helping people who don't have a job, who've lost their job due to this. which I think is amazing because there are so many places that are hiring right now, even temporarily. So like if your work is closed and you can't go in because of the precautions that people are taking, at least you know there are some other companies out there that will take you in, expedite the process so that you're working with them, for them, until things settle down again, which I think is great, because I'm just so fortunate that even though I have a crazy job schedule, I'm still able to say they are keeping us on and having us work from home. And I know people who don't have that, and it's really sad that companies can't provide that help to their employees if they're in a situation like this. And I know some places are really small and they can't even afford it to keep people and pay them through this time, even if they aren't there. So it's really tricky. It's really tough, and it really makes me think more about how the world is run if they can't support the people who bust their butts every day for them. You know, says a lot, I think. But I am just trying to take it easy, trying to be, I mean, I am very thankful, but reminding myself of how thankful I am that I can take this as a resting moment and do some things that have really been on my mind that I wanted to do that I haven't been able to do. At least without consequence. Like most of the time if I take a vacation and I come back, nobody's done anything to help me while I've been out, so I have to work even harder when I come back to catch up on things. But now that there isn't anyone even there, it's like it is almost a vacation, even if I'm working from home. But I know when I go back to the physical space, there's not going to be anything for me waiting because there wasn't anyone there at all. So there we are. Just as I showed you before, there's not much here. But I will tell you this. Today, while I'm busy uploading and editing all of the content that I filmed the last 2 days, I'll continue to knit on this, and I'm hoping that by the next time you see me, I'll have another panel started, and it will be just a little baby bit again because I had started a new segment of this cardigan. So, as always, thank you. Sorry, there's some racket. That's what happens when you're stuck with everybody all day long. But yeah, we'll catch you in the next one. Bye.